everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I am excited to be sharing with you my December stamp release at Heba Alsibai Creates. As always, I will have everything linked for you, but December's stamps are so good. I have 3 stamp sets. 2 of them comes in a bundle, so I'm going to share all of it with you. I'll also share these stamped out and how I use them in my planner and in my projects. So let's jump right into it. I'm going to start with my Planet stamp set. This is a planner stamp set. As you guys know, when I create stamps, it's really things that I'm missing from my stamps, or in this case, it's combining all the stamps that I usually use to set up my planner in one stamp. And this is like a game changer for me. I hope it is for you as well. So in my planner, I usually stamp the dates. So I made sure to add the numbers for myself, and I made them the size of the hemlock and oak. So it will fit the hemlock and oak. Now you would have to kind of see if it fits into your planner, but that's the planner I'm using. I also like to track what I'm reading, so I added my little sidebar stamps, which is Happy Mail, Reading, and Watching. I also added a few social media icons. These are the icons that I would use in my planner. So basically YouTube, Instagram, a little filming camera, because this would be perfect for me, like when I'm keeping up with the days I'm filming. And obviously you can do TikTok as well. I have been adding what I'm grateful for every day in my planner, and I was usually stamping these boxes on the bottom of each day. So I created my own, and I just added grateful for this moment. And you could definitely cover this up if you wanted to, and probably just write in whatever you want to use this box for. I also create a box for my subscribers to keep up with my subscribers and followers on YouTube and Instagram. So I recreated those, one for YouTube, one for Instagram, and well, this one's Instagram, and this one's for my reading with Heba, but you can totally use that to track your reading if you wanted to. I know not everybody has a book club, basically. And then I also added a few little things that some of my subscribers and members asked for. Well, mostly it was the peaches. They asked for a tracker and with certain words. And so I created this tracker with a few words that will fit between these 2 lines. You might notice that I have 8 boxes here. This was a boo-boo on my part. I was trying to do 8 boxes, so one of the boxes would be perfect for doodling. So you can doodle what you're tracking, but that didn't work out. The boxes turned out to be very small. It was wrong on my part. I should have tried it first. So I'm going to mark down the stamp set a tiny bit, just because it's 8 boxes and not 7. And obviously you can't doodle in any of these boxes. They're too small. What I've been doing is using correction tape and covering up one of the boxes because I can't use it, basically. Or just color it in and move on, basically. Hopefully, maybe in the next round, if these sell out and I restock it, I will fix the tracker. But you can add workout, cleaned, reading, journal. So basically for journaling, vitamins, no spend, and then you can add week or mood. So that's a fun little tracker there. And I also added weekend ready if you wanted to stamp that throughout Saturday and Sunday. But I'm so excited for the stamp set. It's so fun, and I'm going to share with you some ideas on how to use the stamp set in your planner. Next up is my Me, Myself, and I stamp set bundle. I have 2 stamps. Let's move this out of the way. And like I said, these 2 stamps come together, so it is a bundle. And the reason for that was I tried to add all my Me, Myself, and I prompts on a 6x8, but it didn't work out that way. I had to add a 4x6 because I wanted to add icons as well. So I'm going to share with you how this works, but basically it is just 2 stamps full of my prompts for the Me, Myself, and I, with a few icons that fit with the prompts. So you have something like favorite, and you can stamp favorite clothes or favorite app, favorite show, food, spot, book. So if you are familiar with the Me, Myself, and I project, it's just documenting yourself throughout a month. And I do have prompts to go with that. And so these match the prompts from my prompt list. And then we have the internet made me buy this, love this about me, morning ritual, in my bag, what I carry with me, just little things like that. The me goes really well with what inspires me or all about me. And so you can stamp those together as well. And like I said, I will share some ideas on how to use this stamp set. But also the beauty about the stamp set is you can use it on anything. You can use it as a title on your project. It doesn't have to be for Me, Myself, and I, but I'm definitely going to be using it next month for my project. Then you have the rest of the prompts on the 4x6. So you have this makes me mad, this makes me cry, VIP, very important people, BFF, my best friend, and then a bunch of fun icons that you can use to go with your prompts. And I love these two stamps so much. It took me forever to put this together, but it was so worth it because they turned out so good. So as always, I will be sharing all of these stamps stamped out in my creative journal. Let's start with the Planet stamp set. Like I said, it's a really fun stamp set to use in your planner, and I try to use like different colors. I love how the social media icons turned out. That one's really fun. And I did want to share with you how it looks in my planner as well. So let me grab that real quick. So I've shared with you that I switched to the Hemlock and Oak in the end of 2024, but this is basically what it looks like. I've used the box on the bottom, and it's nice and neat. I love how it looks. I was using different stamp sets for that, but I do love that I have more space and I can fill the whole thing or not if I wanted to. I also used those reading, watching, and happy mail as my sidebar, and this is where I'm tracking what I'm reading and all that good stuff. I'm also tracking my social media here, and so I stamped those three next to each other. I love that they're just so clean and neat, much neater than what I used to do, and I just love that. I added 2 trackers for this week, reading and cleaned. Loving that as well. The weekend ready, the numbers, they fit really nicely in my Hemlock and Oak. I used that work stamp to separate my personal from work. And there's some of those social media stamps. So it's been so fun using the stamp set. Now I just use one stamp to document all the things. I don't need multiple stamps to do this, basically. And I love it. I also wanted to show you, like I stamped the canceled here. So fun, and it fits perfectly within the columns in the Hemlock and Oak. Then I stamped the don't worry as well. I stamped another canceled there. So I'm just playing with this. I love how it's turning out. I made sure to, try it out as I go, just to make sure that it works for you as well. So that is my Planet stamp set, all stamped out. And that's how I'm going to be using it in 2025. Next up, let's take a look at my Me, Myself, and I stamps. So the idea behind this was I'm going to be using my, what is it called? My yearly project Scrappy Spiral notebook. And so I wanted these prompts to fit within that gray box, and it fits perfectly, even with a stamped icon. And so I tried it multiple times on my paper, and it looks great with the icons and the prompts. And you don't have to even stamp it in the gray area. You can stamp it within, your project, and they're just perfect titles as well. So if you're like documenting social media, you can just stamp the social media. I also have a few more here to share. And this is just how I've been using it. You can stamp the favorite music with the music, what is it, playlist thing? I forgot what that's called, but it's on here somewhere. There it is. So you can really, really play with these stamps. I'm just so excited for it. I think this is a game changer for my Me, Myself, and I, especially that this year there's no kit. So you can use your stamp set to add the titles and the prompts, and then just use your stash to pretty it up with some pattern paper and some embellishments. But that is my 3 new stamp sets. Like I said, the Me, Myself, and I stamps here are going to be sold as a bundle, and I will be selling the Planet stamp set as well. Now, for my process, I wanted to share with you how you can use the Me, Myself, and I stamp set in a different project. I will be sharing my Me, Myself, and I project very soon, my setup, all that good stuff, very, very soon. And I'll share with you what I'm going to be using these stamps, or how I'm going to be using these stamps in my project. But I also want to show you, if you are not doing the Me, Myself, and I, how you can use it in a different project. So we're going to put a layout together, most likely in my creative journal. I've been really enjoying this size for layouts. It's just such a good size, you guys. Maybe you're going to be seeing more of my creative journal next year. I don't know. I've just been really loving the 6x8. So I'm going to be documenting something using my new Me, Myself, and I stamps, and hopefully it inspires you as well. And like I said, I will have all these new stamps linked in the description box for you to grab if you're interested. I also did want to mention, which I've been asked about a lot, is restocking. So restocking for a small business is a lot of work and costly, especially if you don't know if people are going to purchase them or not. So when I restock, if a stamp set is popular, I will restock it with the next release. So if I sold out of last month's, I believe right now they are restocked. Maybe 1 or 2, I'm not even sure. But I try to keep up with restocking, especially popular stamp sets. But I always recommend this. I'm not trying to do a fear-mongering thing and get you to go and buy all the things. But I don't have the capacity or the space to have these on hand all the time. So if these are popular and they sell out, I will try to restock them, I promise. And if, especially the Me, Myself, and I, and if you're working on it in January and missed out, I'll try really hard to restock it at the beginning of January or end of December. Anyways, let's move on. I want to create. I'm really excited. So I'm going to put you on a voiceover at this point, and we're going to put a few layouts together in my creative journal. All right, let's start working in my creative journal. So I'm going to be using both of my Me, Myself, and I stamp sets and the Planet stamp set as well. And I wanted to document some of my favorite things from this year. So I grabbed a bunch of 6x8 pattern paper, and I'm just going to see which one works best with my photos. Just was trying to match my photos to the background, basically. And I found that the cream with that beautiful dark green scallop on the bottom just worked really well. I like that there was the scallop portion where I can stamp my title. And so I kind of go with it. I did try it upside down, so I flipped it over, but I didn't really like it. I like the scallop on the bottom, so I'm just going to go ahead and stick that down. Once I stick that down, I'm going to stamp Favorite from my Me, Myself, and I stamp set as my title. And once I'm done stamping my title, I can work on my spread. So I have 6 photos that kind of represent some of my favorite things, and I'm just going to add them into kind of columns. I was thinking I could stamp the number next to each photo and then stamp a little title right underneath it. There's not going to be any journaling for this spread. And this is what I love about my creative journal. Like, there's no rules. I can do whatever I want. So I start by stamping number next to my first photo. And I'm going to actually use this beautiful green from the stamp market to stamp my numbers and my titles. I wanted to match them to that scallop on the bottom. So I end up stamping number 1. I add my photos, and then I'm going to stamp person with that same green ink. And basically my first photo is just representing some of my favorite people, which are my kids. The next photo is one of my favorite books from the year. And once I add that, I can stamp number 2, and then I'll stamp book right underneath it. And basically, I'm going to be on repeat. I'm going to do the same thing for all 6 photos. Photo number 3 is one of my favorite meals. So I'll stamp number 3 and then stamp food as well. 4 is one of my new favorite things, which is my UGG slippers. I'm going to stamp number 4 and also add clothes, the word clothes underneath that. And number 5 is one of my favorite shows, Shrinking. Oh my gosh, if you have not watched Shrinking, I don't know what you're waiting for, because it is hilarious. It is one of my favorites. So once I add that photo and my number, I'll stamp show underneath it. And number 6 is one of my favorite artists, Nordo. And I'm gonna just stamp number 6 and music right underneath that. By the way, with columns, I always recommend to start with your first photo and do all the stamping that you need around it, or if you were adding embellishments, because once you add that first photo, the rest just comes together easily because you kind of figure out where each photo and stamping needs to go. So I always recommend to start with your first photo and then basically go down the line to make the process easier for yourself. Now, when I finish stamping, I still want to add a little something to my spread. So I will go through my embellishments and try to fill in the gaps and just bring in more color to my layout. So I didn't want to overthink it with the embellishments, so I decided to just stick to my puffy stickers. And I started going through my puffy stickers, and I actually found a lot that I could use on my spread. The first one I went with was the best meal puffy sticker, and I added it to my food photo. I added a few puffy hearts to my UGG photo. I also found a TV set, which was so adorable, and I ended up using that for my favorite show. Just little things that could fill in the gaps and add some color to my spread. And just sticking to a certain type of embellishment also makes the process pretty easy. One thing I was really excited about was I had this sticker sheet from a friend, and it's the TV show Friends themed. And I found You Are My Lobster, so I was able to use that for my favorite people. And once I'm done adding all the stickers, I'm gonna call this side of my spread done. Why I said this side of my spread is because when I add this layout to my creative journal, the opposite side had stamping, and I just felt like it took away from my spread. So I thought, what the heck, I can use some more pattern paper, maybe cover up the opposite side. So I go through my pattern papers. I remembered that I had this larger 6x8 with a very large title. The colors matched. So I just grabbed a page from my creative journal to be able to add this 6x8 pattern paper to. I will also add some puffy hearts around the title to bring in some of the color from the opposite side. And I think I'm going to grab a stamp set from my stash to stamp currently. I just felt like I needed to balance things out. So stamping is my go-to when I feel like I need to balance out words. And so just stamping the currently in black around the puffy stickers and the large title really helped balance things out. Once I do that, I can call my layout done. Easy peasy. Loved using my new stamp sets to put the spread together. I love that the Me, Myself, and I stamp can be used for other layouts and other projects. So don't feel like you can only use it on the Me, Myself, and I project. You can definitely use it on other projects as well. Anyways, you guys, don't forget, today is release day. I will be adding all the links in the description box for you. I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up. And if you are new to my channel, please consider subscribing, and I hope to see you guys very soon. Bye.